The final homestand kicked off with a wild one last night at the Coliseum. The A's rallied early and had a 3-run lead, only to have controversy ensue in the 6th inning, when one thing led to another, and the Halos put up a 6 spot in that inning. The green and gold rallied late but ran out of frames, and the Angels won Game 1, 9-7. Tonight, it's Brett Anderson's turn to take the hill, and the Athletics need him to be good for this playoff push to be successful. A's and Angels, Game 2, next. Game 2 of the series, A's looking for a bounce-back performance tonight. They're 5 games back of the first-place Astros in the division, and they're sitting in that second wild-card spot, 2.5 games behind the Yankees, and 5 up on the Rays. The Rays are red hot, and the A's will send the big left-hander to the mound, Brett Anderson. Tonight, it's the A's and the Angels coming up on NBC Sports California, powered by Xfinity. Hi again, everybody, and welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. Along with my broadcast partner, Ray Fossey, I'm Glenn Kuiper. So an ugly night last night for the Athletics, no doubt about it, Ray. They lose the game 9-7 to the Angels. So the A's have lost 4 of their last 5 and just struggling a little bit. But when you look at these numbers, you see the record. But my eyes go down to the relievers' ERA. We haven't seen that all year.
You know, and I think last night when Luke Trevino came in the ball game, anytime he throws the ball 98 straight, there's something wrong. Because normally he has good sinking action on his fastball. You don't see home runs hit, and especially a grand slam, which turned the ball game around. But, Kuip, I think the biggest thing right now is that the A's can control their own destiny. You win ball games, you don't have to worry about anybody else. Somebody has to step up and be the hero every night.
We'd like to see that magic number move downward. It's sitting at 7, and it's been sitting at 7 for a long time. So trying to right the ship tonight will be Brett Anderson. For more on him, let's go downstairs to Dallas Braden.
And speaking of magic, guys, Brett Anderson, the magician on the mound, looking to get himself right. Coming off of the DL, he had a not so great outing against Baltimore, trying to get himself back in the swing of things. He's going to be relied upon heading into the postseason. So a great opportunity for Brett right now to establish himself as one of those names that the Oakland A's would lean on heading into a division series.
All right, Anderson would be opposed by the right-hander Felix Pena, and we know that the Rays have already run. The Astros are playing right now. Yankees are playing right now, so we got a lot to follow tonight. It should be a fun night of baseball here at the Coliseum. Game 2 of the series, it's the A's and it's the Angels coming up right here on NBC Sports California.
On NBC Sports California is brought to you by Toyota. Designed for the grind that comes through every time. See your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. By Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Jack in the Box. Try something different, like Jack's Teriyaki Bowls. Only at Jack in the Box for a limited time.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Game time weather presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The admission-free boardwalk is open this weekend. 68 degrees. And if you can't figure it out, it is Cal-Stanford night here at the ballpark. Well, that should be fun. Stanford down the right field line, Cal down the left field line. They will not be talking. They don't like each other. They don't get along.
Hey, don't run on the field.
And the A's have Stanford players and Cal players. And
that's right.
So, and Stanford band is here, always very controversial. Keep an eye on those crazy guys and gals. So Andrelton Simmons leading it off for the Angels. We'll give you the rest of the Angels lineup in just a moment. It's Brett Anderson making his second start since coming back from the disabled list. And the A's need him to be good tonight. 2-1 the count to Simmons.
No, they need him to be good and healthy. Because sometimes just the plays in front of him, but he is good. He's got a lot of quality pitches, and good to see him back in the A's rotation and healthy again.
Kepper foul, and the count even at 2-2. Quick look at the lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Here it is: Simmons, and then it's Trout, Upton, Ohtani, Marte, Ward, Blash, Coward, and Joe Hudson is the catcher.
Talk about a top-loaded lineup.
Yep.
Wow. I mean, the first four, a whole bunch of home runs.
Marcus Semien scoops it up, the Cal guy, and then he throws on to first for round number 1.
Well, Brett Anderson, one start against the Angels this year. Pitched well for 5 innings. Actually, everything that happened to him in 1 inning. Left with the lead, but unfortunately the bullpen let him down. But he did pitch 5 very good innings, and hope to do that again tonight. Dallas was right off his Baltimore start. First start, that's just the second off the disabled list.
Well, guys, one thing we have to be cognizant of as well, as Brett continues on down the stretch here, is knocking some of that rust off from the disabled list. You know, you're dealing with some things. Obviously, great news, there's no structural issues that Brett's dealing with. But at this point in time, and Foss, you know as well as anybody, especially being a backstop back there, we are beyond the dog days, and we are into the stretch. Nobody feels great right now, so it's about managing the way the body feels.
And really, if you're in contention, the difference in the two clubs tonight, one is probably tired, the other is not. And if you're winning, you're not tired. You shouldn't be. It should be just having fun, and when the season's over, you say, where did it go? But if you're not winning, that's when it's tough. These guys are playing for something, and that's really what it's all about this time of year.
2-2 to Mike Trout. Trout homered last night.
But the one pitch that he threw, Anderson threw the good changeup that he hit off the end of the bat. Trout did. That's a pitch that has really come into being a very good pitch for Brett Anderson, the changeup. Of course, we saw it with Trevor Cahill as well.
Trout drives one toward right center. Piscotty, the Stanford guy, comes in to make the catch.
Whoa, that's pretty good, man. I can't wait for the next play.
That's all I got. Defensively, the A's have Martini, Laureano, Piscotty in the outfield. Chapman, Semien, Lowry, the Stanford guy, and Olsen at first with Jonathan Lucroy.
And who manages the A's?
Bob Melvin,
the
Cal guy.
Thank you very much. So we're all even, right?
Mike Eldreddy, Stanford guy.
Oh boy. That's right.
Scott Emerson, don't know. Don't know where Emo went. Dallas, do you know where he went?
Arizona high school product.
Perfect. Big night.
Hey, who was that? What? Who let him in? Who let him in?
Oh, I thought it was Green Bay.
No, darker green, Ray. You got to realize that.
Okay.
Come on now. Oregon. Just showing up.
Yeah. Did he think Ryan Healy was still playing for
Ryan
the A's?
Healy, a duck. 2-1 the count to Justin Upton. Eased in there for a strike.
You know, one of the great things about Brett Anderson is the fact that he works quickly. I mean, he doesn't want to wait around. He wants to get the sign and go.
Good pitch right on the outside corner, and that's a very good first inning for Brett Anderson as he strikes out Justin Upton to end the first. And here come the Athletics. Let's check out the A's starting lineup. It's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. And here it is. Nick Martini's going to lead off at left. Chapman at third. Lowry's at second. Then it's Chris Davis, your DH. Olson at first. Piscotty in right. Laureano's in center. Simeon at short. And Lucroy is your catcher.
And it is a young man the A's have seen a couple of times. One in relief, one in the starting role. Matter of fact, a rematch of a game between Anderson and Pena down in Anaheim. But he's a good, hard-throwing pitcher, and the A's, of course, see a lot of that now with the mid-90s fastball. And usually when that happens, they want Martini leading off. Let's see if he can take advantage of it with an opposite field hit, which he seems to be doing a lot of.
First pitch from Felix Pena in first strike. Umpires, that's James Hoy, who's going to be calling balls and strikes. Livensparger, Cooper, and Hudson. And there is Marvin Hudson. That's the crew chief. Grounded towards second. Caleb Cowart ranges to his right. So one away here in the bottom of the first. Defensively, this is what the Angels look like. Upton, Trout, and Blash. Jabari Blash. Then it's Ward, Simmons, Cowart, and Marte with Joe Hudson doing the catching. So a little different outfield than the one that came out on opening day in this ballpark.
A little bit. Wow.
We had Zach Cozart at third.
Yeah.
Ian Kinsler at second. Pujols at first.
Maldonado catching.
1-0 the count to Matt Chapman.
And Ohtani pitched the fourth game.
High strike call. And the count 1-1. Chapman 0 for 5 last night. Felix Pena is 28 years old. He's from the Dominican Republic. Toward left, Upton hustling in, and he's got it. Well, tonight, any 95-mile-per-hour fastball is our fast pitch, brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest Wi-Fi at home and on the go. Pena has been throwing the ball well. Look at the last 8 starts. 2-2, very good ERA at 2.76. In his last 3 starts, he's allowed just 4 earned runs. So he's a hot pitcher.
And, you know, the Angels kind of in the same boat as the Athletics with a lot of their pitchers on the disabled list. And I was talking to some of the people from the Angels about the similarities, and that is one similar one that Mike Scioscia, the manager, has had to deal with. Charles Nagy, his pitching coach, but we have that many injuries. The A's have been fortunate because the bullpen's been strong, and those pitchers who have stepped in the rotation have been outstanding.
The A's have a 3.81 team ERA. That's 6th in the league. The Angels have a 3.99 ERA. That's 7th. Right to Trout. And Felix Pena has a very nice first inning as well. So both pitchers sharp early. Second inning coming up.
A's fans are going to be at work tomorrow. Well, you can play hooky with the A's for our 12:35 game. That's against the Angels on Facebook Watch. This is the only place to catch a TV broadcast. Be sure to follow MLB Live on Facebook to catch exclusive national game broadcast all season long.
Shohei Ohtani leading it off. He hits one right up the middle. Simeon shaded that way. And Ohtani is retired.
Okay, what were the umpires talking about between innings?
I do not know.
Wow. Third base umpire ran all the way across the field out to the second base umpire.
Not quite sure exactly what was going on.
Oh, maybe Eric Cooper's going to go. Yeah, the clock is gone. I just looked out in the outfield. It's gone. So Eric Cooper has the stopwatch. Maybe Marvin Hudson went in to grab one. Took it out to Eric Cooper. Oh, that should be fun.
So maybe Eric Cooper will keep track of, you have to throw a pitch within what, 12 seconds with nobody on base?
That's not going to happen. No? I mean, technically that's the rule book.
I mean, it was 3 hours and 42 minutes last night, Ray. With a total of 15 pitchers used and 337 pitches thrown. Not that I was counting.
Just happen to have those at your disposal, huh?
Dallas, I mean, is that a high number?
Yeah, you know, it went by. I didn't even really notice that it had gone by so quickly.
It zoomed right by.
Yeah.
337 pitches, 15 pitchers.
Yeah. Well, it's September, you know, and the fans, they're getting a great look at the depth of each organization.
Especially the bullpens. Just to see how many chairs are down in the bullpens. Wow. I mean, that's it.
Well, we joke about it, and some people think it's an issue, other people think it's not. But it'll be curious to see if it comes up in the offseason.
Yeah.
Anything is done about it. Brett Anderson rolling along. 5 pitches. That's all he needed. 6 up, 6 down for Anderson. Season and stream the games on NBC SportsCalifornia.com, and the NBC Sports app is all presented by your NorCal Honda dealers. Bottom of the second, no score. And a beautiful night here at the Coliseum. A little chilly. Actually not chilly, just a nice fall evening.
It was chilly last night.
It was cool last night.
That's why they threw so many pitches.
Chris Davis hits a towering drive left center field, but it's going to stay in the park. So Trout grabs it. So 1 away here in the bottom of the second inning. Got kind of a treat, Ray. Next half inning, a young man by the name of Andrew Vaughn is going to join us. You're like, well, who's Andrew Vaughn? Well, he is the Golden Spikes Award winner from
where?
Last year.
Where did he go to school?
Major League, or not, in college baseball, excuse me. It is the highest honor you can give to a college player. Basically, the college baseball's MVP. And he still is going to the University of California.
That's great. Andrew
Vaughn, he's quite a talented young man, and he is going to join us in the booth. Have a little fun with that. May have spun, hit Olsen, or somehow fouled it off. Ow!
No big toe.
So Expo brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort.
Ole really appreciates that in slow-mo.
Right.
Expo to see the big toe crushed. That's why I always thought they should wear steel-toe shoes.
Those are not size 8 feet either.
Yeah. See, you know, I always thought for catchers, if you wore a steel-toed shoe, you wouldn't have to worry about having the shin guard extend over the foot. See that? I mean, that's to protect the big toe, but all it has to do is flip up and you got it. You're going to get hit. Shoe manufacturer really appreciates all that.
2-2 now to Olsen. They're well protected.
They wear I think umpires do wear steel-toed shoes. I think they do.
Why not?
Yeah, so I think as much equipment protection as you can get. That's why I think there's a little surprise that maybe some of the umpires just don't stand behind the catcher to get the protection from them. But they're in that slot and they expose themselves right there where the home plate umpire is.
95 miles an hour, and that's a strikeout.
Well, he's been challenging him the entire at bat. Fastballs. Ole was doing a good job of fighting some stuff off. Here away. And this is just about rearing back and beating Ole to a spot. 95 two-seam action. just out-muscled him.
And there are some who believe that if you have that kind of fastball, use it. I mean, why do you want to mess around if you can just rear back and challenge somebody? Doesn't always guarantee that they're going to hit the fastball a mile. I mean, it's the best pitch to throw.
Pitchcast brought to you by SoFi, a modern finance company. Stephen Piscotty hits. And a quick 0-2 and a couple of breaking balls.
See a look at how he goes about his business. You got to look at that tidy little slider there. On sliders that are swung on from Felix Pena, exactly 50% of those sliders are swung and missed.
So another quick inning for Felix Pena. A couple of strikeouts. We're on to the third. And Stanford tonight, but we are pleased to be joined by a young man by the name of Andrew Vaughn. He's in the booth. Golden Spikes Award winner, the award given to the top collegiate baseball player in the country. Again, congratulations. That's pretty awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
The names that were on the finalist list, Casey Mize. Yeah. Pretty sure he was the #1 draft pick.
He's pretty good.
You had to be like, wow, this is unbelievable.
It was a very cool experience to be with those guys. Clemens, Mize, didn't get to meet Singer, but I played with Mize a couple summers ago. Unbelievable guy, and just so happy for him and Cody.
Check out the numbers, and it was his sophomore year, so Andrew is back in school, and he's going to have one more season. 54 games, a .402 batting average, 23 homers, 63 RBIs.
How'd you develop the leg kick?
Actually, coming into the fall, my freshman year, I was a big toe tap guy, and I couldn't really get into my power. And I was actually hitting with a guy named Brett Cumberland who went to Cal. I think he's with the Orioles now, and he showed me something. I was like, okay, I'll try this out. And then it stuck with me, and been using it ever since.
So you load up early and hit home runs, huh?
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, I mean, that's
gotta hit it right.
That's it. I mean, but load it up, and why not? I mean, look for it and hit it.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Andrew, something that I found interesting, and that's great that Foss brings up the leg kick, because you only punched out 18 times. 18 times over the course of a season did you get that ticket punched. So what is the approach from early on in the count where you're looking to do damage, get that foot down on time, maybe spin on something, as opposed to getting deeper into the count, fighting things off?
I'm a big early in the count guy. I mean, get a pitch that you can drive and put a good swing on it. And then if you do fall later in the count, just put the ball and play hard and let it work. Just don't strike out. I don't like to strike out. It's not fun.
Well, nobody should. But you know, the interesting thing about that, because I think of Josh Donaldson and Jose Bautista, a couple of major leaguers who have the leg kick.
Yeah.
They look fastball, make an adjustment on breaking pitch. How much of that where you're saying, I'm going to get a fastball. I'm going to be ready to hit it, but make adjustments on the other pitches if you get them.
I think it's hanging on my back leg a little bit, staying hinged in my hip, and then being able to recognize pitches when they come in, see a slider's dot or see a curveball hang out. But ultimately, I'm just looking for that fastball. That's that one pitch I want.
Your eyes are that good, huh? And you can see the dot on it?
Sometimes it depends.
You're young.
Depends.
So, Andrew, you're from Santa Rosa?
Yes, sir.
Coming out of high school, did you have other places to go, other choices, and why did you choose Cal?
I chose Cal early. I think I committed my sophomore year of high school just because it was my dream school ultimately. Right. And I got offered, and that's what I wanted to do.
How much does it help to be in a school that's warm weather? Obviously, you travel, I'm sure, but compared to some of the Midwest, eastern parts of the country where they have schools that barely get out in April, May. But, I mean, how much does that help you to know that you're going to play as much as you are?
I think it's a great feeling because, I mean, nobody really likes to hit in the cold.
Right.
Because it's hard, too, with the metal bat. I mean, a wood bat might be a little different. But
it hurts more.
It stings a little bit. Got to use those things on your thumbs now. But I really enjoy it, getting to play all year long and then going to summer ball. It's just great to be out there.
You know, we're going to talk about your summer. It was a busy summer. We'll talk about that when we come back. Andrew Vaughn, the Golden Spikes Award winner. We'll continue our conversation.
On NBC Sports California is brought to you by the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, America's first hybrid minivan. Test drive one today.
Bottom of the third, no score between the A's and the Angels, and we continue our conversation with the 2018 Golden Spikes Award winner, Cal's Andrew Vaughn. Again, that award goes to the top collegiate baseball player in the country. We'll read the list of some of the names that have won that. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Terry Francona won it. How about that?
That's right.
A long time ago. So Andrew, Cal has got Bob Melvin, Marcus Simeon, Mark Canna. Stanford has Lowry, Piscotti, and Coach Mike Eldreddy. Did you meet any of those guys? Or did you avoid the Stanford guys and go right for the Cal guy?
I got to meet Mike Eldreddy because he's actually related to a kid on our team. And then I got to meet Simeon, Canna, and Melvin out there on the field, which is very cool.
Mike Eldreddy has somebody that's forensic on Cal?
Yes, they're cousins. One of our catchers, Corey Lee, they're related to.
So he's smarter than I thought.
And we played Carter. I think Carter's his nephew.
Is that right?
Yeah, we played him. He goes to ASU.
When you played first base, you also have a famous teammate right next to you.
Yeah.
Darren Baker, right? Dusty's son goes to Cal.
That's right.
Don't go get the baseball bat too early.
Oh. You don't drop that on him, do you?
All right, here's Andrew throwing out the first pitch.
Oh, just a bit high.
You'll be ready to go.
I will figure it out. Yeah, that's the time we need to get it going.
But somebody said that Dusty is at every game.
Most every game, yeah, he is. It's awesome having him out there, getting to talk to him after games and stuff, seeing him on the road in hotels. I mean, not every day you have a guy like him hanging around. So whenever I can pick his brain, I really want to.
So tell us about your summer, though. I was reading a little bit about it. You were on the East Coast a lot, played a little bit in the Cape Cod League, but you also played against some national competition, right?
Yeah, we got to, we played Taiwan, Japan, and Cuba, which was, that was very interesting, getting to face the Japanese pitchers. They were very talented, some of the best pitching I've ever seen, and then getting to go to Cuba, that was an experience. I mean, can't take that back, getting to go there to a place not many people have been, and everybody loves baseball there.
Now, when you went to the Cape Cod League, and I know you were there for a fairly short period of time, but they use wood bats in the Cape Cod League, right? And
yes, sir.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, did you notice a significant difference? I mean, obviously, aluminum bat is one thing, wood bat's another, but
yeah, you can break a wood bat, but that makes it a little better for me because I like to get everything on the barrel. So just focusing on that, getting the bat through the zone, and I like hitting with wood. It sounds a little better to me.
Yes, it does.
Well, it would have to help the infielders, outfielders, because it's tough to really gauge a ping off of the aluminum
they all
bat.
sound
They sound the same, whereas a wooden bat, I mean, that's why it's great to see outfielders take off, turn their back, knowing, man, this is unbelievable. This is going so
We're going to have a quick inning. Andrew Vaughn, thanks for stopping by. Congratulations on a terrific award, and maybe win it 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
Hey, that'd be pretty cool.
And sign professionally, have a great career.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
History with the 12th no-hitter in club history with his no-no against the Red Sox. This Friday we celebrate that special night with a Sean Manaea bobblehead brought to you by NBC Sports California. Grab your tickets for the special night at athletics.com/tickets.
Top of the fourth inning, no score. Just one hit in the game. That was Joe Hudson. Trout hits it hard, but right to Matt Chapman. So that's out number one. So that was fun talking to a young man who seems like a very nice young man and maybe a bright career ahead of him. He's a junior, so this will be, I would imagine, he'll be a high draft pick next year.
But how special is it to be able to commit to a school when you're a sophomore in high school?
Yeah. Especially the one that he wanted to go to.
Exactly. I mean, but that's pretty neat. And I think, the question about, it's not about ASU, but I think any schools where they play a lot of baseball because the weather is more conducive to outdoor sports, obviously. But I grew up in Southern Illinois. We barely got out in April.
Yeah.
In high school.
Games
exactly. And so it's a much different setup. But he brought up in between innings that he worked with Johnny Gomes' brother.
Yep.
That's neat. Johnny, of course, up in Santa Rosa, and they got a chance to meet him and everything that they have done to help the people up in that area.
Marcus Simeon has it. So busy night for Marcus, and he throws out Upton, 2 away. And let's check in with Brody Brazil for our first October Quest update.
Now batting, number 17, Shohei Ohtani.
All right, so the Yankees win.
Well, that's just all the more reason, Brody, why it's you win and you control your own destiny. You don't have to worry about getting help from anybody else, and just win and play good solid baseball and take it to the house yourself.
1-0 to Shohei Ohtani. Ray, one last note on Andrew Vaughn. He's the first Cal baseball player to win the Golden Spikes Award. He's the second to be named a finalist. The first, the great Lance Blankenship.
Oh, wow.
We love Lance Blankenship.
That's right.
He was awesome.
We love Brett Anderson, too.
The Oakland A's in your X1 voice remote and get live stats on your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1. Top of the order for the A's, Nick Martini and Chapman and Lowry. Against Felix Pena, who has gone 9 up, 9 down with 2 strikeouts. And he's thrown a total of 26 pitches.
I was talking to our man Jose Mota before the game, and he mentioned that over the course of the last 5 or 6 outings, it seems like Pena has been extremely efficient very early on. You look up and it's already the 6th inning, and I think we can all agree we're getting that feeling right now.
Well, that is what Nick Martini. Remember when he was sent down and then he came back, and this is what he was doing? He was sent down. It looked like he wanted to try to pull everything. This is his best approach. Wait, see the ball a long time, and go opposite field. He's a table setter, and that's what you do. 9 up, 9 down, and then all of a sudden the base hit the opposite field. Put him in the stretch, who knows what can happen.
So that is the first hit, and there is direction of hits for Nick Martini, 13 to left field. So he is aboard. Here's Chapman. Chapman drills one right up the middle, a base hit. Martini will round second and hold there.
Well, that's a great approach. Look out up the middle, and Dallas is a pitcher I was always concerned about. Guys throwing a ball and then having a duck with a linear coming back at you.
That is no fun, folks, because I tell you right now, he didn't even see that baseball. He heard it before he saw it.
You mean it's one of those radio balls?
You know it.
I pray every day that I see a baseball game and the pitcher doesn't get hurt, because, you know, it's so close. By the time you release the ball, you're almost to the grass, which is considerably shorter than the 6 feet, 60 feet 6 inches.
So here's Lowry, 2 on, nobody out, a .323 hitter with runners in scoring position, sitting on 91 RBIs.
4 pitches and 2 very hard hit balls in this half inning.
Well, think about the time it takes to be able to react to this pitch. That's less than 1 second. Felix Pena has to either put the glove up in self-defense, move the nugget to make sure he doesn't get dotted up, something in an effort to avoid getting carried off the mound on a stretcher.
And it was the Angels, when Brandon McCarthy was pitching here, that got hit. I think it was Eric Ibar that hit him as he turned to the side. And scary, man, scary. Think of the late Herb Score, who got it, and
and a breaking ball that is called a strike. 1-1 to Lowry with Davis to follow.
Hey, pitchers, when Frank Howard was hitting, the pitchers would say, set up inside. I don't want him to hit the ball up the middle. You pitch him outside, he may take it up the middle, take my hand with it. So they'd say, pitch him inside, let him hit the third baseman. Yeah, Hondo is huge. Some big, strong, powerful hitters.
That one is driven left center field. Trout on the move, and Trout can't get it. Bounces off the wall. Martini scores. Here comes Chapman. Here comes the throw to the plate, and he is safe. A's take a 2-0 lead.
Well, fortunately, the ball hit hard and slicing away from Mike Trout. He threw up his glove for a deke, but no deke necessary. And with Chappie speeding the ball in front of him, pitches up. Amazing. 9 up, 9 down, 25 pitches, and all of a sudden 3 very hard hit balls. This ball still in the slicing, but Matt Chapman, an aggressive Matt Williams. Remember, nobody out. And this is a close play. Mike Trout's arm strength has been unbelievable. Saw him throw last night. Martinez going to score easily, but it's the speed of Matt Chapman that helps him score, and a close play at the plate. No chance to block him off. And the only difference, maybe, I mean, that's how close it was. The right foot getting in ahead. So Jed Lowry gets 2, so that's 93 for Jed. But the main thing didn't happen last night when Matt Chapman hit a ball to the right side. Get a runner to third. This time, though, first and second, got them both in.
And still nobody out for Chris Davis.
We can see Chapman. Chapman makes a great read on this as he saw the glove go up for Trout out in the outfield, knew it was a deke. And you can see what I like about the slide is he gets the lead foot down early, tags the bag. Great bang-bang play, but an even better heads-up play by Matt Chapman on the base path.
Yeah, we've seen it a fair amount, whether it be an A's player or an opposition player, where sometimes they slide, but they rock back a little bit, and that front leg does not touch the bag. It goes right over the bag. Knocked down by Marte, but Davis is going to be aboard. That'll be an infield hit.
An unnecessary, great approach by Chris Davis, but Marte ranging way too far.
We see Marte off the line. And this is what we talk about when we talk about the defensive shift, where players find themselves maybe out of position, trying to do the best they can to catch everything. That's an instinct of a defender. But this ball, you nailed it, Boss. Marte ranging far over. You can see that slow roller. Cowart, plenty of time, plenty of good position. This is a matter of instincts taking over.
And I think, too, I mean, once, in this case, Marte, once he makes any step to his right, he's done.
He's done.
So he really, I mean, you have to sense it before you even commit to go to your right.
You know, I've said it before, but I remember Mike Gallego said to big Mark McGwire, he'd yell at him and say, Mac, I'm here. I'm here. I mean, because you have to, I mean, we talk about pitchers looking around. First baseman has to look also to see where the second baseman is. And Cart went over to try to keep Jed close, but he did get back to his position, and he was there. And even if Marte, if he doesn't put a glove on it, Pena's at the bag, he might have thrown him out and been a 4-1. But bottom line, Chris Davis did a tremendous job getting the ball to the right side to advance Jed Lowry. That's the type of baseball you want to see this time of the year.
Oh, a nice opportunity here for Matt Olson with runners at the corners. 4 consecutive hits to open up the bottom of the 4th inning.
And you look at the direction of all 4 hits opposite field. Every hit so far either up the middle, opposite field, and that's a great approach to a guy who was hitless. I mean, couldn't do anything against Pena for 3 innings.
If you think about what you just said too, Ray, it all fits into what the A's do as a lineup. They hit the ball the other way.
Yeah.
Because they wait a little longer.
Exactly.
They foul pitches off because sometimes when you wait a little longer, you do foul pitches off the other way. But you see more pitches. You work the pitcher. He throws a lot of pitches early.
Yeah.
They get the starter out of the game. I think it all falls into the same pot.
That's exactly right. And that's what you want to see. I mean, it's really, someone said, I think it was Tony DeRosa was on a panel, and he talked about a winning ball club. He said a hitter got a base hit. Another time he hit a ball to the right side. He went 1 for 4 for the night, but he gave himself up because, and just like Chris Davis has hit 42 home runs, 43 home runs. He could have been up trying to hit 44. Instead, he goes inside out to the right side to advance the runner. That's what you want to see.
And Dallas, wouldn't you agree if the hitter waits longer, obviously he can hit the ball the other way. That's probably the most obvious thing. But it also allows you to be more selective. You're going to chase fewer bad pitches the longer you wait, right?
Well, the idea, and Foss can speak to this, you want to let that ball travel. You want to see it a long time, keep that bat in the zone a long time. And with a middle oppo approach, that's the way you want to go.
Now the A's are really in business. Bases loaded, nobody out, and Piscotty coming up.
Yeah, Charles Nagan's going to talk to his pitcher and say, what is going on?
What happened?
Well, I tell you, what happened is you took a lot of confidence into this 4th inning here, and the Oakland A's said, we're not gonna wait around any longer. We're gonna start being aggressive early in the count. And right now it's a shock to the system. It's a shock to the confidence of Felix Pena because he was rolling and now he's getting squared up. He's starting to see some patient at-bats from the Oakland A's, and that can really mess with the psyche of a pitcher trying to figure out how to get out of this jam.
Though the meeting is over, Piscotty struck out looking in the 2nd inning.
I think there was a stat that the A's chased the fewest, to your point, guys.
Well,
yeah, and that's it.
Because you're watching longer to see whether the pitch is a ball or a strike.
Exactly. And I think Matt Chapman has done that all season. That's why his opposite field power has been off the charts. Of course, Chris Davis, the way he approaches a baseball, I mean, anywhere it's pitched, he can go opposite field. I mean, that's a special talent to have. And
so 2 runs in, and the bases are loaded. Piscotty drills one right field. Blash going back. That's over his head. Lowry scores. Davis scores. Olson stops at 3rd. 2-run double for Piscotty, and now it's 4-0.
Mike Aldretti, Stanford, up and down the dugout. Every time somebody goes out ball, he starts screaming, and there's a lot of hits that direction. Well, he's doing a lot of screaming this inning, because that is 5 consecutive opposite field hits, and that ball was crushed by Stephen Piscotty over the head of Blash in right field. So Matt Williams' arm going fast for Chris Davis, but put up the stop sign for Matt Olson. 2nd and 3rd, still nobody out.
Well, just back to letting that ball travel. Let this thing get deep. And with this approach, you're going to be a tough AB, and this is a lineup right now that has employed the same approach, and I think we are seeing it start to pay dividends against Mr. Pena.
Inside to Laureano, 1-1 the count.
And you go back to Stephen Piscotty, who struck out his first at bat. Curveball, curveball, fastball. See you later. That was in the 2nd inning. This time, though, 0-1, leaned to the right field over the head of Blash.
high strike call. And count 1 and 2. That's Parker Bridwell.
Look at this is the situation. Mike Sosha, Charles Nagy, Raymond. Where did Raymond go to school?
Yeah, the coaching staff.
He always finds a way, doesn't he?
It's amazing. There's a shot to center. Trout's going to play it on a high. So Olsen will hustle in. Piscotty stops at third, and it's 5-0.
Holy hit parade.
That's right.
Good thing we've got the bands in town. Laureano taking a two-seamer up. Good job of getting on plane with this elevated fastball. And again, right back up through the box. Mike Trout typically plays at deep center field. So this ball drops in front, and the A's just continue to roll the pole.
That is 6 center fielder oppo.
Yeah, we'll make that one part of the group.
Exactly. I mean, I'd say we saw Jed Lowry bunt. What is it, Minnesota, when he had 4 outfielders and he felt badly? Well, how about if a guy actually pulls the ball now? He's going to feel bad.
Yep. Unless he throws it into the left field corner.
Yeah, that's okay. Go ahead, Marcus, if you want to. We want to hear the Cal band.
First pitch is a high breaking ball that Simeon swings and misses on.
Now, speaking of the bands tonight, what about our people in right field with the drummers? You know, I mean, they're non-existent, aren't they?
Yep. Let's take a back seat tonight. So 0 for 9 the first time through the lineup. 6 for 6 with a walk the second time. Runner goes, and the ball's hit hard but foul. So usually teams are worried about the third time through the lineup for the starting pitcher. Tonight, it's the second time for Felix Pena. Well, we should tell you that the Seattle Mariners are defeating the Houston Astros by a bunch.
Yeah.
We'll let
I like the
Brody take the rest.
Yeah, I like bunch. I like that word bunch because that could, you know, I had a bunch of grapes today for lunch, which, you know, a bunch of runs would be good too.
On that note,
they were good too.
Simeon's going to step out. Marcus hit a fly ball to center field in the third. Inside off-speed pitch.
Well, one good thing for the A's tonight, in addition to the great hitting in this inning, they're getting the runner in from third, less than 2 outs, and Marcus Semien has an opportunity now, even though the infield playing back for 2. Scotty, who doubled and drove in 2.
Runner goes, throw to second base. Not in time. Stolen base for Ramon Laureano.
It was been easier on the first one because Semien could have led him this time with 2 strikes. See him looking back, and that's important because once the pitch was out of the strike zone, he could continue. Good play by Coward to make sure the ball didn't go into center field and allow the run to score.
So Ramon Laureano with the steal. He is now 7 for 7 in stolen bases. That is just foul. You know, Ray Dallas and I were talking last night about, hey, spring training next year, Laureano should speak with Ricky Henderson every day.
Every day, yeah.
And I asked Ricky about that today, just kind of a fun conversation. He said, you know, I've spent a fair amount of time with him already, and he's a good listener. And Ricky said the things that I have told him to do, he's doing.
Yeah.
And he said, and that tells me that he's a quick learner.
Absolutely.
Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. So that's the first out in this inning. I mean, it's hard not to be intrigued with all the talent that Ramon Laureano has. Just the point we're making is if he could continue to grow as a player and make stolen bases part of the deal where he could swipe 30 to 35, Talking about a 5-tool guy.
Yeah, and Ricky said, Ricky, do that in a month. But you're right. But you know, one thing about what Ricky always did, and Laureano does it, that's slide head first. And some guys don't want to do it. And if you do it, you're already heading the bag. Probably better than trying to dive head first into first base. But Ricky the best at sliding head first, stealing bases. And if that's one thing he's told Laureano, he's doing it exceptionally well.
Upped and over toward left center. Piscotty back to third to tag. And here comes Upton's throw to the plate, and it's cut off, and it pops off the glove of third baseman Taylor Ward. So Piscotty's going to score, give Lucroy his 49th RBI, and now it's 6-0. The A's lead.
This is exactly what you're talking about, Foss, when you're talking about productive outs, especially this time of year. This is what you want to see guys do. Lucroy gets a breaking ball, middle down, something he knows he can get underneath, he can elevate, and if he can get it far enough out there, that's going to be another run across the board for the green and gold, and that's exactly what happens.
So 10th man the bat in the inning. Nick Martini started this all with a line drive to left field for a base hit.
This has been a half inning of aggression for the Oakland A's. Some productive outs, stringing together at bats. This is the type of offensive outburst you like to see.
Pop up, foul territory, and it's going to be into the seats.
And only one ball has been pulled, and that was a sac fly by Jonathan Lucroy, ninth hitter. That's what you want to see, smiles on the faces of the guys who are producing.
Two pitches blocked nicely by Joe Hudson.
It's amazing how many catchers the Angels have used since Maldonado left. Traded to the Astros, and there have been a bunch of catchers used, and really between the pitchers, the catchers, and maybe some auditions going on for Mike Scioscia's Angels for the future.
Martini, big bouncer. Marte goes too far again, and it makes it a much more difficult play than it should be. Jeffrey Marte, pretty aggressive tonight. Big inning for the Athletics. They scored 6 times and lead at 6-0 after 4. Brett Anderson with runs to work with now as he faces Marte, Ward, and Blash in the 5th inning. See if Brett Anderson can get a shutdown inning. He's 12 for 16 so far this year. That one hit hard right up the middle past Anderson, and a base hit for Jeffrey Marte.
Well, for Brett Anderson with that nice little cushion, this is what you want to do. You want to come out, fill the strike zone up. Obviously, you'd like to keep it down, keep some of that soft contact rolling. And this is just a matter of a fastball center cut here for Marte. But Brett Anderson has done a wonderful job of getting ahead early tonight, using the secondary stuff when he needs to get back into the count, to get that soft contact.
So now he's facing Taylor Ward. Ward grounded out to the shortstop in the 2nd inning. Hit pretty well to right center, but Laureano is back there, and he makes the catch. Out number 1, and time now for another October Quest update.
Now batting, number 54, Jabari Blash.
All right, well, we got the emotional report card from Brody, so we feel better about that now. There's the West, so the A's half game closer, sitting at 4.5, pending the outcome of this one.
Now, 4 times this year, Brett Anderson has been double figures in ground ball outs, and like nothing better to have another quick inning and get a ground ball.
Bridwell has been warming up for a while, so he's ready out there. Changeup at 85 miles an hour.
Well, no, it's not a large difference in velocity. Just about 4 to 6 miles an hour at times from the fastball at 85 for Brett. It's about missing the barrel, and that's what's got him that weak contact.
I'm thinking Jabari Blash may have the most stylish batting stance we've seen in a while. Dallas, you're close. Check it out.
Well, it's pretty
Stylish.
noisy. It's pretty noisy. He's got some hands going.
He's looking styling. Yeah.
What's he hitting?
Not so styling, Foss.
About 25.
Not so styling, but watching him during batting practice, that is something I noticed. Was there's a lot of, and when I say noisy, what I mean is a lot of movement in his setup, even in his pre-pitch routine. A lot of movement. You see him, he'll start out wide, a toe tap, he'll bring the feet close together. That front foot is a little noisy, but look at the hands, the height, a lot of gyration going on.
I'll tell you what, if you're wrapping your bat that much, you better be strong. Because when you wrap it, I mean, there's Julio Franco could wrap it, point the barrel over his head at the pitcher and hit line drive to right field. Blash can do it. Tip your hat.
Strike 3 called. Outside corner. Second strikeout for Anderson.
Well, when in doubt, too close to take, you better be swinging. And upper part of the strike zone, the outside part, off speed, and got the high leg kick, got the foot down, but also got rung up.
Well, this is an elevated changeup, Foss, something that Brett Anderson just working underneath on here. That was the same pitch that Taylor Ward actually hit out to center field.
That says a lot about throwing a 3-2 changeup when you got a 6-run lead. Came right back with it.
Facing Caleb Coward.
Well, I think what you're seeing right now is that separation and velocity, though it's not great. The arm speed for Brett Anderson has been very effective, and that's why you're getting the swing and misses and the off-balance look from the Angels lineup right now.
Coward bounced back to Anderson.
You know, these throwovers, and they come from the bench. And that's simply Bob Melvin saying Mike Scioscia's not just going to sit back and wait for a 3-run home run. And, you know, that's what managers do. And that's smart on Bob Melvin's part, just because he's not going to say, well, I don't know if that was a flare. That was a quick pitch, I think, by Brett Anderson, the point that Ward had taken off, or Marte had taken off. And, you know, I think he was going, and all of a sudden the quick pitch by Brett Anderson, and maybe he did not get as big a jump as he thought he was going to.
Well, that's exactly what happened, and I know where you're getting at, Foss, is you've got to be able to control that running game, and that's what those throw-overs are for.
Yeah. Because the one thing about Mike Scioscia in his years managing, in 19, and we hope for many more, is that he never gives up. He never assumes that we're going to sit back and wait for the big ball. I mean, and that's why he won a World Series in 02, because he had the big bashers, but he also played small ball. First and third of line, hit and run.
Well, there's times that you want to put the game in motion. If you don't have the ability to rely on a big bopper or a big part of your lineup to come up and do damage consistently, you have got to try to create offense. And right now, while there's a lot of ball game left, it could get late very early for Mike Scioscia and the Halos.
We saw it down in St. Pete with the Rays that, you know, they got the big home run from Bowers, but they did a lot of running and things that kind of disrupt.
Makes them a little scary.
Yeah.
One and two to Cowart. Cowart was the hero last night for the Angels with the grand slam, an RBI triple as well. Home run, the grand slam came off Lou Trevino. Up and away.
Watch his fastball, straight as a string. Lou down to his knees. And that was a cooler night last night. But, you know, one thing about Lou, a lot of his pitchers, and you said it best earlier about same lineup, same guys playing, and I mean, you got to go to the well with same guys who have had the success. And I mean, he'll bounce back. Maybe instead of trying to throw 100, throw 96 with some sink.
Lowry going back. Lowry's going to make the catch, and that will do it. Leadoff single, nothing else. So Brett Anderson and the A's leading 6-0.
Sports California is brought to you by Roaring Camp Railroads. Dress up with your favorite tank engines at Thomas and Percy's Halloween party. Missing it could haunt you forever.
Having some fun inside Shibe Park Tavern. If you're a shuffleboard player, you know exactly what the score is there. So when it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and small expert. Parker Bridwell comes in, just his third appearance. Bridwell started a game against the A's. Was it last year, Ray, or maybe?
No, this year.
Was it this year?
Yeah, April the 6th down in Anaheim, and he got rocked. Yeah, it was this year, and A's hit a bunch of home runs. Remember early in the game, and guess who won? 13-12 or 13 something. Angels came back. Gossett, who had Tommy John surgery, was the starter.
And Chapman rips one toward left center. He's got a base hit. Chapman will make a turn and stop there. Chapman with a couple of hits. Felix Pena, 3 perfect innings and then disaster in the 4th. 6 hits and 6 runs all in that 4th inning. So he finished with 58 pitches. So now it's Parker Bridwell. Ace sent 10 men to the plate in that 4th inning.
To your question, he did start last year, but he did start this year as well. But you're right about last year. A couple appearances against the A's.
Jed Lowry pulled off that one a little bit. Big 2-run double for Lowry in that 4th inning. Hit a ball to the left center field that scored Martini and Chapman.
You know, that might have been one of the biggest hits of the night, too, just because it did get the A's on the board with a 2-run double, and the fact that Matt Williams, the A's aggressive third base coach.
It'll be Taylor Ward, the third baseman, who grabs it. So out number 1. Hey, Sean Manaea had surgery today. This was the photo on his Instagram account. Thumbs up from Sean and Mom and Dad. So we wish Sean the best of luck in his rehab. It's going to be a while, but he's a very nice young man. Surgery today, and it was really for the first time for Sean Manaea. He's going to be in full rehab. And Dallas, you went through it. I mean, a rehab where you're out for a while. It is a tough deal, right? It becomes kind of mental torture.
Yeah, I was a professional rehabber at one point in time. Is pretty much how that felt. But in all seriousness, what Sean Manaea has ahead of him right now are the mental hurdles, and they're not hurdles yet, but they will be, and they will be a testament to the character that he has within himself at this point in time to be able to navigate through a lot of question marks that are going to pop up, and it's going to be about, do I have it in me to answer the bell today? And the answer is yes. We know Sean Manaea, and we know that answer is yes. It's just about believing it, buying into the process that's going to be laid out in front of him, and attacking each day with a little more aggression than he did yesterday. But you also, the key thing is to be smart and to trust the individuals who have your best interest in mind.
And he can commiserate. He can talk to about 5 other guys who've had Tommy John surgery and all kinds of surgery this year. They can all get together and talk. But I just want to see Sean Manaea come out here on Friday and throw out the ceremony, first pitch right-handed. You know, it's his bobblehead, you know. That's right. Just, you know, if you have to be pushed out in a wheelchair, and I mean, this place would go crazy. I mean, they would love it.
You know what, though? I know some big leaguers and some former big leaguers that would not allow themselves to be pushed out.
Well, but you know, it's.
I know how you guys are.
Yeah, I know, but you know, the nice thing about Sean, that was great on his Instagram. That was day surgery. He's not going to be in a wheelchair. I mean, he's going to be able to continue playing at the high level, and that's going to be good for him. Yeah, but you're right, Kate.
No. I know you guys.
Yeah.
So Chris Davis with the walk. So 2 on and 1 out, and here's Olsen. So more action for the A's offensively.
You know, thinking about Sean Manaea for so long, kept saying he's the only remaining starter still not on the disabled list, and he ends up there. That means every starter the A's started the season with, and some even before, been on the disabled list.
And boss, that is why I firmly believe, and sure, if you're going to ask me, I'll be honest, is there any bias involved? Not yes, but heck yes. Bob Melvin,
yeah.
AL Manager
Absolutely.
of the Year candidate, a strong candidate, just because of what he's been able to do with the starting rotation / lack of, and everybody that has come along and contributed and been productive. It takes more than just penciling a man's lineup or a man's name in the lineup.
Well, I think it's a lock, and it should be a lock, and should not even be any hesitation about voters voting in what he's done. And to your point, Dallas, when you take a pitching staff, you use 12 starters, and granted the bullpen is strong, but you cannot always rely on the bullpen. We saw it last night. 4-1 lead, all of a sudden it went away. But how about that? June 16th, the opener for the Athletics Skype. Here's your date. The opener.
Razor on there.
That's what they've done since.
And I wholeheartedly agree with you as Olsen strikes out. I don't think there's any question that Bob Melvin should win the award, and I think he will. But Kevin Cash is going to get a lot of votes.
Very well.
Yes, absolutely. Justifiably so.
And he deserves it. I don't think he's going to get enough to take the award from Bob Melvin. But I think Kevin Cash is going to get a lot of votes.
I agree. And coincidentally, oh, by the way, both low payroll teams, both doing whatever it takes to win ball games. And if the Rays had another month, look out. I mean, seriously, they could be in. They could be forcing a lot of people, and they still may, because they're good. And I mean, there's been some things that have happened that you wouldn't think are going to happen, but they have. And Stephen Piscotty struck out in his first at bat on 3 pitches, and then what does he do the second at bat? Opposite field, just fell right in line with the rest of the guys in front of him, just goes opposite field, and Blash had a line drive over his head, 2 runs scored, and Stephen Piscotty, with his dad on hand tonight. His dad flew all the way to St. Petersburg, Mike did, to watch his son play Saturday and Sunday, and flew back after 2 losses. He said that wasn't a lot of fun.
That's a long trip for 2 losses.
For 2 losses, and he said so tonight he just took it from East Bay and came into Oakland with a good friend of his and watching his son play, and had to be very pleased with that opposite field double.
And that one is belted down the left field line, and that baby is gone.
Yeah, he's really happy now.
Just inside the foul pole, a 3-run shot.
Piscotty too hot. He cement mixer coming right down Broadway. And you can see it, foot down, those eyes light up. And he watches this bad boy sail into the East Bay night. Foss, Kite, you got your bags packed. You know where we're headed. All aboard. Next stop, Pound Town.
So a 5 RBI night for Stephen Piscotty. And see how close it was to the foul pole.
Well, I tell you, but that was the only thing. Second deck shot. Somebody up there got a souvenir. 4th 3-run home run this year for Stephen Piscotty. He just hit one against the Mariners not too long ago, to the early part of September. But that was a no-doubter. 206th home run for the Brewers. Ongoing season best for Piscotty.
He's got 25 now. Give him 81 RBIs. And we always like to throw in the double count as well.
Oh, yeah.
Because that is 39. So he'll get to 40 doubles. He's got to 25 home runs, and he's got to 81 runs batted in. A heck of a season.
Yeah. And you think about his beginning, and obviously with the passing of his mother, and tough time for him. And I mean, he came back to life, and really everything that he has done. I mean, you can almost eliminate the first couple of months, where new league for him, new team, everything new, passing his mother. And I mean, he has played tremendous baseball for the Athletics. And oh, by the way, he's signed for a few years.
Laureano has a base hit. He's 2 for 3.
Well, they're talking about Laureano and his production offensively, defensively, turns on a fastball with 2 strikes, and a very quick ball for Laureano. It's a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, center cut. Not a bad pitch from Bridwell. However, he got beaten by Laureano. I think the kid's got a chance to be a pretty good player for a long time. And maybe it's just taken over the center field spot, maybe even the leadoff spot. If he talks to Ricky, like you said, Kipe, and he becomes anything close to Ricky, never pass or come close to his home runs leading off a game, but stolen bases, his hustle, plays a great center field. I agree with you, 5 tools, he's got it.
1-0 the count to Marcus Semien.
And I think one of the biggest things that we've talked about with Laureano is the fact that he has sought Ricky Henderson out, the fact that Ricky has sought him out, but his ability to apply the information, it's one thing to be receptive to it, it's another to be able to apply it, and that's what we're seeing from the youngster Laureano.
Trout comes in. This should be the 3rd out, and it is. A score 3 times, all coming on Stephen Piscotty's 25th home run of the year. 6th inning coming up from the Coliseum. All A's, they lead 9-0. Nothing on Cal Stanford night.
Bob Melvin will want this night every night if the A's continue doing this.
That's true. Yeah, bring those Cal folks out, Stanford folks.
Yeah, do the band members know that they will have to show up to these games from here on out?
Absolutely. I think it's a great football atmosphere. I mean, this is nice to hear the dueling bands.
Takes you back to winter ball, huh?
Yeah. Oh.
The Stanford gang down the right field line. 3-0 pitches in first strike.
Well, Hudson got the first hit of the game, first base runner for anybody. Both teams.
Well, Joe Hudson lines that one, but right into the glove of Jed Lowry. So out number 1 here in the 6th inning. Not to mention, Ray, they just saw Joe Hudson lined out. His hit in the 3rd inning was his first big league hit.
Yeah.
So
Great.
whatever the score may be tonight, Joe Hudson's going to have a small smile on his face. Well deserved. It's a big league hit.
He's got an average now instead of a bunch of zeros.
So 0-2 the count. Brett Anderson, who he just gets it and throws it. It's a wonderful thing.
Oh, it's great, isn't it?
There's no messing around. He's got a game plan.
Best thing is to have the hitter have to step out and ask for time.
Slowly hit to Chapman. Chapman throws in time. A nice play to get a fairly fast runner in Simmons.
Fans, they have new gently used baseball equipment, or if you'd like to donate to a good cause, Saturday the Oakland A's are teaming up with Pitch In for Baseball to host an equipment drive at the Coliseum. Bring your equipment to C Gate, D Gate, or the Bar Plaza entrance and receive 2 free tickets to that night's game against the Minnesota Twins. All equipment will go to the Oakland Athletic League. More information at athletics.com/community. Got an old putt around someplace that probably somebody could use.
Give him one of those old pancake gloves that you used to use. How you caught with that, I'll never know.
My fingers tell you how.
2-1 the count to Mike Trout. Trout a fly ball to right and a ground out to third.
See, this has to be great for Mike Trout because he's a big football fan. You know, they have the bands, and so for him to hear all the music going on between innings, the bands, it's got to be good for him. He's a weatherman. Plus, he's a pretty good baseball player.
He's an East Coaster.
Yeah.
He was at the Super Bowl this year.
Oh,
with the Eagles win. The Super Bowl was in Minneapolis this past year. A little chilly.
He predicted the weather.
He was there.
Yeah.
Strike 3 called on the inside corner. I think Trout knew it. Third strikeout for Brett Anderson. He's retired 6 in a row.
Is brought to you by the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, America's first hybrid minivan. Test drive one today.
So all A's so far. They lead this one 6-0, make it 9-0 in the 6th inning. Excuse me. And Mike Scioscia is going full spring training game. It could be in Tempe right now, Ray, with all the changes that he's making. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up and smog experts. It's Odrisamer Despaigne, who's the new pitcher. We'll give you all the defensive changes in just a little bit. Despaigne. you get all those right?
Yeah, Wanderado says 22 to left,
Yeah,
9 to center.
Wanderado just rattled off. Like, you got to slow down a little bit, Juan.
And it's talking just numbers. Give us some names to go outside with the name numbers, huh? Pull out the binoculars. BI's got it all back here. It's got it all printed out on that piece of whatever. Well, the Angels, with the day game tomorrow, they're taking the boys out.
It's Coward, who's now at shortstop, and he throws out Luke Croy. All right, we think we may have the changes for you. Eric Young is now in left field.
38.
Meko Hermosillo is now in center field. He is making his major league debut, the center fielder. Caleb Coward moves to short. Sherman Johnson comes in to second. So Trout is out. Upton is out. Simmons is out. So on opening night, opening day, I always like to do this. It makes me laugh. I don't know if it makes anybody else laugh. Ray, if I would have said to you on opening day that on the 19th of September, the infield for the Angels was going to be Taylor Ward, Caleb Coward, Sherman Johnson, and Jeffrey Marte,
I would have laughed.
I think you would have. Well, how about the outfield? Ward has it. He throws to first. The outfield is Eric Young, Michael Hermosillo, and Jabari Blash.
And what's the payroll of the Angels? It's not out on the field now. Wow.
Now batting.
So 2 outs.
First baseman, 26.
And here's Matt Chapman. So everybody that the A's are kind of battling with in this postseason, with, of course, they're chasing the Astros. The Astros lost, so that's good news. But in the wild card, the Yankees won, the Rays won, and the Mariners won. So the Rays beat the Rangers, Yankees beat the Red Sox. So the wild card, A's are just going to have to win this game and keep it where it is.
Well, and reduce the magic number by 1.
That's right.
If you
Good
do
call.
win, you do reduce it, and if you go more than that, if somebody else loses and you win.
Hermosillo grabs it. So Despaigne with a 3-up, 3-down inning, and we are on to the 7th. For this, on this date last year, Oakland's Matt Olson homered for the 5th straight game, tying Matt Stairs, Dave Kingman, and George Husick for the 2nd longest streak in athletics history, behind Frank Thomas, who homered in 6 consecutive games in 2006. So last 5 rookies to homer in 5 straight games. Ronald Acuna, he's pretty good. Matt Olson, he's pretty good. Hoskins,
Leading off for Los
Peterson,
Angeles.
Caleb Joseph.
Caleb
59,
Joseph.
Michael.
Saw him in Baltimore.
So Brett Anderson is rolling along as he takes them out here for the 7th inning. Michael Hermosillo, as we were told, this is his big league debut. We saw him out in center field make the catch to end the bottom of the 6th inning. No. It's Sherman Johnson who's making his major league debut, so I stand corrected. Hermosillo has got a little bit of playing time. He's pretty fast. So out number 1. So again, Hermosillo not making his major league debut. We'll see Sherman Johnson at some point.
He did exactly what you should do if you're coming in and playing in a game late.
Now batting.
Ran hard to first base and almost beat it out. Marcus Semien had to go to the outfield grass, make a strong throw.
So here's Ohtani. He stays in the game. Ohtani has grounded out twice. Outfield defense straight away for Ohtani. Semien shifted over just a little bit toward second base. That's about it as far as any type of shift goes against Ohtani. But Ohtani hits the ball the other way really well.
Yeah, he did last night, especially against the lefty. There's Booker. Last night and tonight, totally different game. The A's are playing a very good game, and the point we're taking about the lackluster game last night, up 4-1. All of a sudden, it's kind of a blowout. Did make a good effort to come back.
Semien has it. His throw is not in time, and there you see the Ohtani speed, and he's got a lot of it. So 1 out single. Well, Friday the Twins are in town. It's the final Authentic Fan Friday as the A's Treehouse will be rocking. It's right behind section 234. That's where the Authentic Fan Friday festivities are. The first 500 fans that show up get an authentic A's fan aluminum sign, and fans can pick up one of our collector cheer cards. That is big math, Mark McFly. Get out of his way.
Whoa.
So we got a pinch runner. Francisco Arcia.
Come on, James Hoyle. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I'm calling time, and I'm heading to the right or left, regardless. I'm not going to be there in case you throw.
Yeah, not going to line myself up in those crosshairs. No thanks.
Catcher Arcia.
Pinch running.
Well, you know, the one thing about September and increasing the rosters, this is the type of game that you utilize players that maybe don't play as much, whether it's a blowout, 2 or 4 or against you, whatever it might be. It's Ryan Dull loosening in the bullpen. But I don't know that the A's are going to take anybody yet, to be honest. They're trying to win, and usually if they're going to be substitutions, it will be after the team that's trailing starts it. See what Bob Melvin does the last couple of innings.
When it's important to win the ball games.
Yep.
If you have the opportunity, you'd love to get guys some reps, especially guys that you're going to be relying on. Potential postseason scenario.
Chapman knocks it down. He's going to throw to first, and Olsen digs it out, but Anthony Marte is called safe.
Well, Chappie does a good job of knocking this thing down. See, backs up, gives a little bit of ground, trying to get a bit of a better hop, and he just ends up throwing a palm ball over there. Isn't able to get that good four-seam grip on it. We know what that throw looks like if he is.
He's out. He's out.
He's out. Yeah, they're going to challenge this, and they're going to change the call.
I would hope so, yeah.
And this won't even be close.
I got my white out already.
I didn't put anything out. I didn't do anything yet. But that's a great shot, and you can see the ball, and of course with the first baseman, we always talk about it has to be in the back of the first baseman's mitt, and it was. And how many times do you see a base runner jump at the bag? You're just in midair. Watch this. There's he goes. Ball in glove, foot considerably off the bag. So take that air 5 away because it's a nice recovery and should be an out.
Yeah, I think the long limbs from Matt Olson kind of fooled everyone. You're not exactly sure when he actually secures the baseball, that big long finish after the dig.
And they're showing it on A's vision, and of course it means nothing to the people back in New York who are ultimately making the call as we're about to get a decision. Out. Good call. And no E5, Mr. Duca.
All right, so when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and small experts. Thirds innings, and he leaves with a 9-0 lead as Ryan Dull comes in. And Ryan Dull's first pitch is hit hard by Taylor Ward, but right into the glove of Nick Martini. 7th inning stretch time.
Mobile. How about this? There's a big one right here from Jet Lowry. This would be the first inning, or the fourth inning, after A's had done nothing, brings home 2 runs. And then Stephen Piscotty, 2 of his 5 runs batted in to knock opposite field double. An inning in which the A's scored 6 opposite field hits, and including the 2 to bring in a total of 4 runs in that inning.
So this is Franklin Barreto. He's going to hit for Lowry. First pitch is a strike.
Speaking of Tempe or Mesa, let me see it.
See if Melvin gives a couple guys a couple innings off. There's a day game tomorrow. Doesn't sound like a lot, a couple innings, but it can help. Joyce looks like he's going to hit. Hit for Chris Davis as Davis heads back into the dugout. It's Joyce now in the on-deck circle. Despaigne deals, and it's in the dirt. Driesberg Despaigne, he had a 3-up, 3-down, 6th inning.
In my opinion, the early part of the game did not throw a lot of pitches. 3 quick outs, couple of ground balls, and a line drive out.
Pitch, strike 3 called at the knees, and that's out number 1.
As you wrap up the celebration of our 50th anniversary season in Oakland, what better way to celebrate than a 50-year musical journey accompanied by our world-class fireworks. That's right, 50th anniversary fireworks. Join us Saturday beginning at 6:05 for a game against the Twins and stay for the Bay's best fireworks. Grab your tickets at athletics.com/fireworks today. That is a huge day if you think about it. It's a huge weekend of baseball and a lot of great things happening. The Benai bobblehead on Friday, then the fireworks and shirts off your back, and Sunday the Fan Appreciation Day. So many good things happening the final weekend of the regular season here at the Coliseum, and much more baseball for the Athletics.
So Matt Joyce hitting for Chris Davis. Hits it hard but foul. Matt Joyce, tough year health-wise. Playing in just his 74th game.
You know, things happening so quickly. I just wonder if guys are prepared. So Darren Bush and Bob Melvin looking down the bench, a whole bunch of players on the bench, and trying to make some moves to get a few guys some time off, an inning or so. And Marcus Semien, who's an Iron Man, he's been playing every day, every inning.
Joyce have a half swing, fouls it right past Matt Olson. Matt Olson is in the on-deck circle. That one hit very high down the right field line into the corner, but foul. Joyce spun on that one a little bit.
Well, I tell you, you like to see that as well, even though it's a foul ball, long foul ball, but for Matt Joyce to be able to get to that pitch, to be able to spin on that baseball, to your point, Kipe, you like to see that. Hopefully that's indicative of a lower back that's feeling a heck of a lot better.
Another pitch inside, and Joyce hits it hard into right field for a base hit. So A one-out single here in the bottom of the 7th. Well, tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. on NBC Sports Bay Area, Raiders insider Scott Bair sits down for an exclusive interview with Raiders quarterback Derek Carr, one-on-one with the quarterback. Tomorrow night, 9:30, only on NBC Sports Bay Area. Derek Carr and the Raiders looking for their first win. Will be at Miami this Sunday, so I think a long flight.
And Clay Wood's been cheering for 3 days.
Yeah.
The field looks great, considering Clay Wood and his great crew putting a lot of effort to make sure it's baseball playable. And let's remember the bleachers and the plywood goes in center field. And football is played here, so that's a major task, I'm sure, for Clay and his ground crew.
Big chopper right side. Marte's going to throw to second, hits the runner. It's been a tough night for Jeffrey Marte at first base.
Well, he's had some issues ranging to his right, disrupting plays over to his left. And you're right, there's been a bit of a struggle for Marte. Here he's just, as you can see, the momentum carrying him towards the third base side of the infield. He doesn't have a lane to throw to or in, and he ends up squaring up Matt Joyce right in the back of the dome.
Tried to throw it through him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the rule doesn't apply like it does over at first base.
Wow.
So it is an E3. Here's Piscotty, who drives one foul right side. You know, talking about when the Raiders play here, you see a Raider game being played here, and it just looks so much different than from a baseball game. And I know that obviously the center field is full of seats and all that. And now Piscotty gets hit. Piscotty will head to first.
Left elbow right there. He's got the padding, but man, that's not a lot of padding. And you can hear the thud. There's a thud. See Bob Miller looking at Jeff Collins, and you know, one of the things, you have a very good lead, but you're also playing for something, a lot of something, as a matter of fact. And the last thing you do not want to see is someone hurt, especially in this kind of a game. Charles Nagy out to try to settle this pitcher down.
So more action out in the bullpen. That's Dick McGuire. So the bases are loaded, one out, and Laureano's digging in. Laureano's got 2 hits, 2 for 3, 2 singles, stolen base, and he has an RBI. His batting average, 281. The first pitch is a hard slider down and in. Joyce at third, Olsen at second, Scotty at first. A single, an error, and a hit batter. Down the right field line, that's Blash into foul territory and makes the catch right next to the side wall. Joyce will come in to score. It's a sacrifice fly for Laureano to make it 10-0.
That look familiar?
Yes, it did.
And that's exactly what would have happened last night. Probably the bases loaded. Runner goes to third, and here's last night with Stephen Piscotty going after the ball. And you got to go for it, make sure you catch it. Did not. dropped the ball. And tonight, Blash goes in the exact same area. It was called a no play, basically, a foul ball. And the person was escorted from the stadium. David Renetti finally saw the video and sent the crew out. But tonight, Blash catches the ball, and Laureano gets the run batted in.
Laureano now 16 RBIs. And 2 away.
Really, that's what you do. There's a pinch runner, Dustin Fowler, for Stephen Piscotty. But you're trying to get outs. And if it's the bottom of the ninth or top of the ninth and whatever, it's a winning run, bottom of the ninth, you let it go. But those are outs you want to try to get.
And I think when you watch that replay, I did not ask Stephen Piscotty this, so I'm kind of guessing, but it just looked like, you know, he's running full steam over there, getting ready to make the effort to catch it. And then it looked like out of the corner of his eye, he saw the fan's glove,
right.
And your natural reaction is to kind of duck away to avoid it. I think if there's no glove there, he's not going to take his eye off the ball and probably catches it. But you saw him kind of duck his head away because it looked like he saw that glove almost coming at him a little bit. And you wouldn't be thinking that you would be seeing a glove. Watch, he's fine there, but when he glances, see, he sees the glove, and then he kind of
backs away
a little bit.
He's shying away from really going after the ball, and you can't blame him because you see something strange coming at you. It's a great point. I found it hard to believe that when the ruling came down, it said it was obvious fan interfered. When you see somebody reach over that far,
I thought it was actually pretty obvious.
Yeah, I mean,
that's about as obvious as you're going to get.
Yeah, to have the glove go over the fence into play. I mean, it is in play.
And that one's low, so a base runner for the A's.
And people want to compare the Bartman play in Chicago. That ball was actually in the seats, and he had the right to actually catch the ball, even though Alou was going after it. But this one, clearly, a fan went over the side.
Bo Taylor.
So Bo Taylor's going to hit.
I think one of the things we have to think about as well is on that play, if they are to give Oakland the out on that challenge, that eliminates the opportunity for the runner at third to end up tagging. And so I think that might have played a little into the decision making back in New York, feeling like it might have been an unfair call. Now, do I agree with that? Whether or not I do, that's a different story. I'm just trying to give a little insight, I think, into maybe the thought process behind the decision making.
Were you saying you didn't think he was going to score? Is that what you said?
They would have to decide where to place the runners, right?
Right.
Well, I think they would have allowed him to score, just like on what Blash did.
Yeah, I mean, I think so too.
And I think there'd have been a runner going to third, and the runner stays at first. I don't know, just kind of the way this play just developed with Blash catching the ball, because it looked exact. The bases were loaded, similar play, similar location, but there was some reasoning that we'll never find out, other than the fact that they said it didn't feel the fan interfered.
Oh, 2 to Bo Taylor.
Bo's done a good job behind the plate. Strong throws to second base, had a pitch out in Baltimore, and a strong throw, and got the out, and had a strong throw. Was it last night? That was last night, because he used all 3 catches. He must call and I said, get Braden up.
Oh, no.
Taylor takes inside. Frankie Montas is up throwing. So a run in for the A's, and they have a chance for more. There are 2 outs. Bo Taylor looking for his first big league hit. Was headed up the middle, but Despaigne grabs it. Side retired. Sacrifice fly by Laureano. It's 10-0 A's after 7.
California is brought to you by Toyota. Designed for the grind that comes through every time. See your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. By Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Xfinity. X1 will change the way you experience TV.
So top of the 8th inning, Ryan Dull back out there, and his first pitch to Jabari Blash is lifted high and deep to left center field, but room out there for Laureano. So that's out number 1. Dustin Fowler stays in the game. He's going to be the right fielder. Chad Pinder is now at 3rd. Chapman's done. Barretto's at 2nd. Lowry's done. And Bo Taylor is your catcher. So indeed, some of the guys who play every day getting a couple of innings off for the A's. As Caleb Coward hits. Ryan Dole came in and got the final out of the 7th inning.
He's thrown 3 pitches and 3 strikes, Ryan Dole has, which is a good sign.
Everything is final in the American League.
Well, as we'll sit here and watch Ryan Dole go about his business, something you have to remember for the arms that have made their way up to the big leagues during this September run. It's an opportunity to really make an impression. Who knows what that roster construction looks like should the A's find themselves in that wild card game. I think it's still a little too early to give up on the division. You never know. That's why we play these games, but always an opportunity for these young arms to make an impression and put themselves in the forefront of the staff's mind when considering which arms to take and deploy in the postseason.
And remember also that each league, or at least each
nice play by Chad Pinder. A long ways to go. The shift was on and he was playing shortstop.
Smart play of the day brought to you by your California Ford dealers. Brett Anderson, the A's needed a stopper. They had not played that well over the weekend. Last night they lost, but Brett Anderson out tonight. A very, very good 6 2/3 innings, and did a great job. Left after giving up a hit. Ryan Dull in, Ryan Dull gone.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and spawn experts.
Attention, please. Ladies and gentlemen, coming into pit. For the opening, number 47, Frankie Monta.
Sports California is brought to you by Kelly Moore Paints. Go where the pros go. Kelly Moore, the painter's paint store.
Nothing. The A's lead the Angels. Win tonight, and the A's could get the magic number down to 6. Lock up a postseason berth. for that magic number to move down. A's got to win, and then it moves down one game. If the A's win and the Rays lose, well, then it moves down 2 games. Rays won earlier today. Frankie Montas comes in. 11 starts for Montas. This is his second relief appearance. 5-4. 3.90 ERA. Pitched some pretty good games for the A's earlier this year. Facing Joe Hudson. This was Joe Hudson's first big league hit. Happened tonight. A line drive, nice and clean to left field.
He broke up the perfect game by Brett Anderson. Retired the first 8. There's a baseball. Get it authenticated and make sure you don't lose it.
It's this one well to right. Fowler's going back. Fowler backpedaling, reaches up, and he makes the catch. So 3 up, 3 down inning, bottom of the 8th coming up.
By authority of the Oakland Athletics. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
Here's our game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. 0-3-1 for the Angels, 10-10-0 for the Athletics. So all A's tonight. Felix Pena got knocked out in the 4th inning. Brett Anderson was very good. 3 hits, no runs in 6 2/3 innings. Stephen Piscotty, 5 RBIs. Couple of RBIs for Ramon Laureano. Everybody hitting tonight for the Athletics as they are looking for their 91st win of the year. 3 outs away from that as Deck McGuire comes in. He is pitcher number 4 on the night for the Angels. Angels used 7 pitchers last night. Facing Nick Martini. First pitch to Nick Martini right on the outside corner. Martini's 1 for 4. Single leading off that 4th inning and turned out to be the start of a huge inning. A 1-2 the count. The only other game going on in baseball is that Dodgers-Rockies series final. That is a big series, and the Dodgers have won the first 2 games, both in dramatic fashion. Dodgers lead the Rockies by 1.5 games. They are 2-2 in the 7th inning, so another tight game.
It's one of those, you just figure eventually they're going to come back and take the lead. A lot of pressure on the Dodgers. especially with the payroll. I don't know that for them winning a division really pays. It's no big deal. It's kind of like the Yankees. Aaron Brooks, like he's got the 9th inning.
So I was talking to a baseball fan. He said strike 3 called on the outside corner to Nick Martini. All right, let's get to Wells Fargo first, Ray. It's our look ahead to what's coming up this weekend. It's the Minnesota Twins. Twins 10 games under 500. We saw them really not that long ago. We were in Minneapolis, but the Twins, remember, they were the 2nd wild card team last year. So high hopes for the Twins coming into this year, but they have not been able to get it going. That's who we will see this weekend. So my question, Dallas, and I'm going to ask you this question too, and I think you guys will know the answer. If you're the Dodgers, looks like you're probably going to win. I think it's their 6th consecutive National League West Division title. I think it's 6. Would you rather win 6 straight division titles, but no World Series titles, or would you rather, in that 6-year span, win 1 wild card, get the wild card 1 time, and win the World Series that year? Give me the ring.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I agree.
I mean, I know it's a fairly easy question to answer. I would hope.
Well,
yeah, but that's where the frustration comes in because the Dodgers are really good.
Look at the Atlanta Braves.
And
14.
Yeah.
They won what? 1?
They won 1.
14. And you only, I mean, really, and you only win 1, and that's an only. I mean, if you think about it, because first of all, it's not that easy to go through the playoffs the way they are right now.
No, it's not, and it gets, with another level of playoffs. And listen, and we've talked about this, Ray. You were there in 73 and 74. The A's won 3 in a row, and you've said, listen, it would have been significantly harder to do what you guys did now, just simply because you got another series you'd have to win. You guys probably would have done it anyways, but it would have been a lot tougher.
Well, and we had 5-game league championship. Not a 5-game division, which is 7 now, but a 5-game league.
And I say that never taking anything away. I'm just saying I think it is tougher now to win 1, let alone 3 in a row.
Yeah, they're more involved, and at the time there was basically the A's would play the Orioles in the league championship series.
5 games.
Yeah, and the winner goes to the World Series, and that's why really there's more pressure in the 5 games to get to the World Series than the actual World Series.
So you always felt like you almost feel like the way you felt in that 5-game series. Now I think some teams feel that way if they win the wild card game.
Well, yeah.
Now you're like, let's go.
That's right.
We're in there.
But now then you got to go to the division, and I think one of the problems is that you can have a lot of success. Daniel Murphy, I mean, he's a great example recently of a guy who went through everything until the World Series, and then it got cold.
It's hard to be hot for 3 straight series.
Exactly. And the deeper you get in today's world, I think the more scrutiny there is as far as the scouting reports and how you get somebody out or whatever, how you pitch to them. But there have been a number of players who have had great series, but they advance to the next one and they get cold and nothing happens.
Not just players, teams.
Oh yeah, complete teams. Well, look at the Tigers, who swept the A's in 2006 in 4 games. In the time off, they forgot how to play.
That's right. It's costly errors.
Yeah, and every pitcher made an error. Every starting pitcher made at least 20.
So Barreto strikes out, and McGuire strikes out the side. 10-0 heading to the 9th.
of the game. How about this one? This is a long one. Hanging curveball. You don't see many hit to the second deck. But that one was by Stephen Piscotty. Home run number 25 for Piscotty as he touches his heart for his late mother. And I'm sure his dad very proud of him tonight. And Mike, don't travel anymore. Just come to the Coliseum. Don't travel across the country to watch your son play.
His home record is better than his road record.
A lot better. A lot better, yeah. He said he went to Houston at the right time. The A's were playing well.
Out number 1, Aaron Brooks. His second appearance with the Athletics. His numbers from AAA with the Milwaukee Brewers, good numbers. So Brooks back with the Athletics.
Number 18, Sherman Johnson.
Part of the Sean Manaea Ben Zobrist trade.
Right. Yeah, I want to mention too, Camp, that we talked about Matt Olson's home run, and of course on this date last year, but 1962 for the Angels. The late Jim Fregosi. Thought it's a nice note in the Angels notes tonight that he hit the first inside the park home run in franchise history. Of course, the late Bill Wrigley managed that team with Jimmy Fregosi and traded to the Mets, I think, for
Nolan Ryan. Controversial.
Yeah, exactly. And but Fregosi, of course, in the Angels Hall of Fame. And he was the second best player in the Bay Area to the great Gary Hughes. You know that. Yeah.
At least that's what Gary tells us. Such a nice guy, you can't even argue with him. So 2 outs, Dallas. What do you got?
I got some numbers for you guys. Get your calculator. StatCast did the homework. 108 miles an hour off the bat, 31-degree launch angle, almost 420 feet away from home plate, 417 to be exact. That ball was leaned on, folks.
StatCast AI powered by AWS. So here's Hermosillo, who is hitting for the second time.
Hey, this has been a fun night with the dueling bands.
Yeah.
From Cal, looks like the Cal band's leaving down the left field line. And the Stanford band of the right field foul line. They're still there. They're hanging out.
Having a good time.
Oh, yeah. That's always a great rivalry. Is it Pac-10? Is that what it's called? Pac-12 now? Pac-12? Sorry. Yeah. Six-pack?
Pac-8 would take us back to the 70s.
Well, they keep adding packs, you know. Aaron Brooks almost twisted his ankle.
3-1 the count. So day game tomorrow, and then the Twins are here. The A's will finish on the road at Seattle Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, at Anaheim Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then see what happens after that.
And that's not surprised that Marcus Semion's still in the game. A lot of guys have been taken out tonight and a couple of innings off, but the Iron Man, Marcus Semien.
3-2 pitch. What a play. Pinder's throw, not in time. So Chad Pinder doing his best Matt Chapman.
When you love to see this, 10-0, top of the 9th inning, 2 outs, full extendo, layout like it's a tie ball game, extra innings. That's a ball player, folks. Yeah. Chad Pinder selling out. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard says. It's street legal to go ahead and try your hardest until that last 27th out is made.
Well, that's part of the reason. Of course, his play on the field and his off the field activities. Tomorrow he'll receive the Dave Stewart Community Service Award.
Very nice.
Right here at the Coliseum, and very deserving for Chad Pinder. Stu will be in the house to present the award, and not surprising also that he was the Roberto Clemente nominee for the Athletics, and told him, I said, it'd be nice to receive that award in the World Series and you're playing. You know, that would be outstanding.
up the third base line, and Brooks does the right thing. He lets it trickle foul.
I think for Chad Pinder, and he's talked about the skill of imagination, but he got a call from Stephen Vogt, and Voter said, hey, I'm no longer with the club, would you mind taking over? And he did, and so very nice gesture on the part of Stephen Vogt, as we always appreciate his rate, and Pinder doing his part in the community as well, and receiving. I mean, when Voter was here, he won every award. Johnny Gomes won everything. And now it looks like Chad Pinder, but I mean, it's special for the guys to give back to the community, get out in the community. A lot of it just unnoticed. They just do it, not for the fanfare, just to do it.
Oh, it's foul, and the count remains 0-2 to Arcia.
Love it.
A little bit inside.
Always nice to see the players who've taken out the game. Saw Matt Chapman on the bench. There's Chris Davis out of the game, but guys could be upstairs, but they're here cheering on their teammates.
Shallow left field, and it's going to be Simeon who reaches up to grab it, and that's the ball game. And the A's get win number 91, and the magic number, clinch a postseason spot, is now sitting at 6 with 10 games to play. So the A's get their 14th shutout of the year, and heck of a performance tonight by the entire team as the A's shut out the Angels. 2 hours and 23 minutes. The attendance was 16,425. Final score from the Coliseum tonight: the Athletics 10 and the Angels nothing. Time now for A's post-game live. Let's head back to the studio where Brody is standing by.